When the message popped up, my phone was on silent, sitting on my desk, but the vibration felt like it punched through the solid wood and detonated in my chest. The cold black text on the screen read like an epitaph. "We know where you work, Arthur." Not a threat, but a statement like a doctor announcing the cancer has spread. Whether you accept it or not, it's there, growing, consuming. I flipped the phone face down, as if covering a losing hand, pressing my palm against it like I could shove that digital demon back to hell. The office was quiet as always, the AC vent droning its monotonous, eternal hum. That sound's been the backdrop of my life for over 20 years, steady as a fly trapped in a jar, buzzing uselessly. Across from me, Ben was leaning toward Emily, the new intern, his voice low but smug, the tone of a guy who's been around. "This job's best perk is stability," he drawled, sipping his coffee. "Stick it out till you're Arthur's age, and you've got it all: house, family, pension. A life you can see to the end. Secure." I let out a stifled, almost inaudible dry laugh. "Got it all." I glanced out through the narrow slats of the blinds. The sky outside was a dull, lifeless gray, matching the cement walls of this county building. "Yeah, I've got this gray. I've got a tidy desk, a mug with the government seal, and a massive black hole collapsing in my soul. Over the past 6 years, that hole swallowed $250,000, my lawn-fronted house, my credit score, and everything I was as a husband, a father, a man. 6 years ago, I wasn't this way. 6 years ago, Arthur would have spent an entire neighborhood barbecue bragging about his son Jack's home run in a community baseball game. Carol, my wife, would roll her eyes saying, "All right, Arthur, enough about your hero son," but then she'd slip the juiciest, best grilled steak onto my plate. Back then, our home seemed to soak up sunlight, pouring through the living room's big windows, bathing everything in warmth. Our life was a gentle stream, no rapids, just clear and predictable, every day filled with small, certain joys. We'd bicker over where to shop on weekends, stay up late debating which college Jack should aim for. Those days feel like a distant, unreal dream now. When did it start? The moment that diverted the stream and sent it crashing over a cliff. Was it that Tuesday afternoon, idling at work, when I clicked a flashing ad with tempting odds while browsing sports news? Or had it begun earlier, when I grew tired of this slow-boiled life? The same wake-up time, the same commute, the same pile of pointless paperwork that changed nothing in the world. My life was a straight line on a graph, stable but joyless. I craved something to make my heart race, my blood burn. I just didn't expect to find poison. That betting site was a garish mess, odds pulsing like an EKG. I told myself, $20, just a fancy coffee. I picked a basketball game I thought I knew, placed the bet. For 2 hours, I was locked in, every score and foul yanking at my nerves. When the buzzer sounded, I'd won, $18. Peanuts, but the thrill of outsmarting some unknown force, the jolt of my heart slamming against my ribs, it was something I hadn't felt in 20 years of this office. It was alive, powerful, like I'd been yanked from stagnant water and could finally breathe. I told myself it was a harmless secret, a little fun just for me, Arthur. It even felt exciting. From that day, my world split in two. One was in the sunlight, office and home, gray and steady, where I was Arthur the supervisor, Carol's reliable husband, Jack's proud dad. The other hid behind my phone screen, a dazzling rush of adrenaline and dopamine. There, I wasn't anyone, just a string of numbers that could double or vanish in a flash. At first, I won more than I lost. My confidence soared. I thought I'd cracked the code, outsmarted the experts setting the odds. I started buying Carol things she'd eyed but never bought, a delicate necklace, a designer bag. I said it was a cut from helping an old friend with investments. She believed me, hugging me, praising my smarts. Her admiration fed my battered ego, worn down by years of monotony. Lies, like the first domino, kept falling once they started. A gambler's fate is simple. You never quit while you're ahead. Every win whispers, next time, you'll win more. Soon, I hit my first big loss, a weekend where I blew nearly $5,000, 2 months' salary. Panic drowned me like icy seawater. One thought consumed me, get it back. Reason vanished. I upped my bets, from tens and hundreds to thousands. My paycheck drained fast. I started lying. I told Carol the office had a high-interest internal investment fund, a chance too good to miss. She hesitated but trusted me, handing over our joint savings, $40,000, meant for a kitchen remodel and Jack's future wedding. When she gave me the check, she said softly, "Arthur, this is most of what we've got." My palms were sweaty, and I couldn't meet her eyes, just mumbled a reply. That $40,000 vanished in a frenzied night, gone in under 3 hours. When the account hit zero, I sat at my desk till dawn, motionless. Birds chirped outside, sunlight streamed in, but I was in a freezer. I went mad. I applied for credit cards, one after another. I used my clean record to get bank loans, lying about home renovations or a small business. Each approval was a shot of adrenaline, masking despair, only to be poured into that bottomless pit. I stopped sleeping, staring at the ceiling, calculating debts and comeback bets. My hair fell out in clumps, my weight plummeted. In the mirror, a red-eyed, gaunt man with panic and greed in his eyes stared back, a stranger. But I'd step out, put on my steady, reliable mask, and play the part. I felt like a bad actor in a tragedy doomed to end. Then I met Chloe. I'd started escaping to a dive bar to dodge Carol's increasingly worried looks. Chloe was the bartender, young, pretty, with a worldly edge in her eyes. She always had a perfectly timed whiskey ready when I needed it. One night, leaning on the bar, she said, "Arthur, you're not like the other guys here. They're bragging or chasing skirts. You've got something going on in those eyes." What did I have? A mountain of unpayable debt and endless lies. But being seen by a young, beautiful woman inflated my shriveled ego like yeast in dough. I needed a listener, someone who wouldn't judge. I spilled to her a polished, edited version. I said I was dabbling in high-risk investments, hitting rough patches. She listened, offering sympathetic looks without prying. I started using online loan money to rent her a nice apartment, buy her designer bags, take her to fancy restaurants. It wasn't money. It was deeper debt, poison to quench thirst. I knew what she wanted, material comfort, a temporary anchor. She knew what I wanted, an escape, a place to forget I was a failure. We were two shivering strays, licking each other's wounds, no judgment. With Chloe, I could play a successful, intriguing man, not the liar scrambling under Carol's questions. That false sense of control made me sink deeper. My last, most reckless bet was the final 15 grand, Jack's last year of college tuition, in an account only I controlled, unknown to Carol. That night, my eyes bloodshot, I stared at a football game's score on my screen. I was praying, bargaining with God, the devil, any deity I could name. Just this one. Win, and I'll fix everything. I'll cut Chloe off, go home, confess to Carol, do anything to get back to before. The final whistle blew. I lost. The world went silent. No hum of the computer fan, no street noise, just the screen's cold light on my bloodless face. In that moment, I knew it was over. Not the game, my life. I can't pinpoint when Carol found out. The details blur. It wasn't a dramatic explosion, but a slow, torturous execution. Maybe she found a credit card bill I thought I'd hidden, its staggering numbers chilling her. Maybe a debt collector's call broke through my defenses, landing on her phone. I just remember coming home from work to a heavy silence. She wasn't in the kitchen or watching TV, just sitting on the couch in the dim light, a few debt collection letters I thought I'd buried spread out on the coffee table. When I opened the door and saw her silhouette, I knew Judgment Day had come. She didn't scream or curse. She just looked at me, her eyes a mix of crushing disappointment, sorrow, and estrangement, staring so long I could barely breathe. Then in a calm, almost numb voice, she said, "Arthur, we're getting a divorce. You can have the house, sell it to pay your debts. I just want Jack." I opened my mouth, but my throat was cement, no words coming. My mind raced with pleas, excuses, repentance, but they stuck. Words were powerless against the mountain of debt and betrayal. The light in her eyes, once warm for me, was gone. Now, I sit in this office I've known for 20 years. Ben's still preaching to the intern about the secure life this job brings. The girl's face glows with dreams of the future. Stability, what a word. They'll never know real stability comes from inner peace. My heart's a wasteland, raised by a cataclysmic quake. I pick up my coffee mug. The coffee's cold, oily, sour, like my last 6 years. My phone buzzes again, a dying beetle struggling. I ignore it. Let it ring, the soundtrack to my failed life. I stand, walk to the window. Below, the street hums, people, cars, all heading somewhere, to jobs, families, futures. I'm a ghost, floating in this building, neither rising nor falling. This secure job I'm envied for, I can't hold it anymore. I shattered it, and the shards are buried in my flesh, bleeding me out. I turn, open the office door, and step out. I don't know where I'm going, HR, my boss's office to confess, or maybe the rooftop. But I've taken this decisive step. Behind me is the humming, gray world that anchored me for decades. Ahead is an unknown future, destruction or redemption, I don't know.